Hey, what is up everybody? It is Austin, and today I got both RamChargers parked up here, so we gotta be doing something, right? As you can tell, we got the 87 RamCharger here, the Wanderer, and Mutton over here, the cooked out 85 Dodge RamCharger. The reason I have them parked over here for you guys is so we can see the height difference between a stock 4x4 and a lifted 4x4. Now, I got my tape measure today, my trusty tape measure, and we are going to see the height difference between them, talk a little bit about the previous ownership, so we got a history, and we're going to start taking this one apart. So after doing a touch of research, I figured that the best way to, I guess, see the difference in ride height, or at least the suspension lift kit, we can tell the difference in height, obviously, but the lift kit height, how we can tell that is by measuring from the bottom side of the fender and the center of the hub. That's, from what I can tell, is the best way to figure this out. So let's see what we got here. It's about there. So I'm gonna say it's about 20 and a half. And let's scoot over here, take out that much tape measure. Get this one here centered up, and we're looking at about 27 and a half. Is that centered? That's about centered there. It's about 28. So I'm going to say that we're looking at about an 8-inch lift kit here. That is that skyjacker 8-inch lift kit. So I was pretty close in saying it was either a 6 or an 8-inch. Pretty good at knowing my lengths if you wait a second. So now that we know that there is a 8-inch lift kit here on the 85 Dodge RamCharger, that's good knowledge. We now know that. but you know what I would like to see? Let's check this out real quick. What is the actual from ground to fender? That is about 44 and a quarter. So 44 and a quarter. Let's go over here. Sticking into the ground a little bit. Tire's a little low on this one. And we're looking at 34 and 3/4. So, what is that, like 9 inches, 9.5, something like that? It's close enough. We're not measuring. What I'm thinking now is, while I start working on taking this apart, I'm going to do a time lapse for you guys, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history on this 85 Dodge RamCharger. There's quite a few owners. I was only able to find a few of them, and I was able to get on a phone call with at least one. That was the previous owner. Really hard to find that individual, but they wanted it to be hard to find them. So that is good. I will respect everybody's privacy in this video, of course. So I will tell you from secondhand knowledge, not straight from the person's mouth, but I will tell you what they told me about this rowdy Rambler. So as we break down this RamCharger, let me tell you guys a little bit about the history on this thing. We did find some previous owner paperwork in the center console, and we were able to research and find some of these previous owners. With the previous owner, the one before me, it was a person down in Texas that had built this RamCharger or purchased the RamCharger for overlanding. Now, most of the work had already been done to it, and this person just upkept on the maintenance. There was a lot of paperwork in there. Again, just bits and pieces because the fire did destroy most of it, but they did keep up with the maintenance. So that's really cool to hear. That means that this RamCharger was going, driving around, everything like that, before the fire. And unfortunately, the previous owner did not have an explanation as to why or where the fire started, so we're still left with that mystery. The owner before that was a couple and their son. The son did buy the RamCharger, I believe from another owner that I had talked to, but purchased it all by himself with his own money after working really hard to get it. And I'll put some pictures up here because this is exactly how they received it, and they actually had the original Facebook listing when they sold it. So that's really cool. I think it's really awesome that their son was able to save up to buy this dream truck that he used during high school, and then they sold later on down the road. The owner before them was someone that I actually have, I guess, a close friend with. Person still lives pretty close to Texas, so this truck was pretty much a Texas truck. Everything that had been done to this truck was already done when he received it. He had mentioned that it was a grandfather before him that purchased it for his grandson, fixed it up, make it look all pretty, and then the grandson didn't want it, so it was sold to him. So it sounds like this RamCharger has passed hands quite a few times. Again, 7 or 8 times. And this is where we're at now. All right, so as you guys saw through all the time lapses, we got the hood, fenders, doors off. All the other scrap metal stuff is in the scrap metal pile over there. These conveniently stayed on the hood, so it works. We can take a little bit better look down in here now. I mean, there's really not too much to see. Shocks probably gonna have to be replaced. Engine, well, we got ourselves an engine. I think I had mentioned that intake manifold might have been aluminum. It is not, but that carburetor definitely was aluminum, and I guess it still is, but just in puddles. A little bit better look at the back of the Ramsey winch now. Looks like, I mean, we have our 2 solenoids here. Motor was over, or is on this side. That's our gearbox, I believe. I mean, it looks fine. It looks like it could be rebuilt. And again, it was really cool to find out that Ramsey is a Oklahoma company. I'd almost like to see if I could reach out to them and see if there's anything we could do to get these winches back. I think that would be really, really awesome. And I mean, it's kind of crazy to see that literally the only thing body-wise left on this frame is the cab. And I don't want to take it off just yet for one reason. I need to cut out these panels here, right there, that one right there, and same on the other side. And I did have someone reach out to me, and he was needing this area right in here, but on the driver's side, which is a lot nicer looking. Something I did not know, but let me start with what they do have available. This part forward is something that you can get recreated aftermarket to, you know, fix any rust holes in the footwell on both the passenger and the driver's side. When it comes to the RamChargers, this piece right here, so this strip down here and up onto the side of this pedestal here, or the raised area for the seat pedestal, they don't recreate that. The trucks, the D100s, D150s, don't have this kind of contour. Now, I'm sure it could be remade if someone was a fabricator, but not many people are fabricators out there. They can learn, but we're not all fabricators, guys. So I will be cutting out this section from the driver's side because I did have someone reach out to me saying they needed one. So again, I have the part. I can cut it out. It'll be super easy. There's a support somewhere in here. So as long as I cut like on this lip, maybe a little bit back, they should be perfectly fine to splice that into theirs. And they'll be golden. They'll have like a brand new truck just from another truck. I'm trying to do this without losing you guys. There looks like there might be a little bit of a milkshake in there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I don't know, that looks kind of weird. That's how it's supposed to look. I don't know. We'll have to see. Not a ton of oil on that dipstick either, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Let's come over here and take a look at this guy, the transmission fluid. Let's go ahead and pull this guy out. Oh, the seal from the transmission fluid dipstick is inside the tube. Oh, and there's stuff all over it. The fluid on the transmission dipstick looks pretty good, actually. So, I mean, this transmission may be good, but we'll want to, if we sell it, want to recommend the replacement of the fluid filter and all that kind of stuff. Because, I mean, that didn't happen until after, or that happened during the fire. So, by draining the pan and changing the fluid and the filter, I'm sure that transmission would be perfectly fine. Again, they were driving this RamCharger before, not right before it caught on fire, but Again, they were driving it around. It was a run and drive and a daily driver at least. Got a little bit of a mess here to clean up and under there and across the whole front of the bumper. The engine is broken down, as you guys saw. Cleaned that out, vacuumed it out as good as I could. It left, let me see, these little like coins, like, you know, aluminum droppings in there. I got a whole bunch of aluminum on top of the intake that needs to be taken off as well from that carburetor over there. Let's go take a look at it real quick. Was going to try to save this guy right here. Unfortunately, I was unable to. One of the pieces of hardware is loose, and I messed it up. That's okay. That's all right. We got the carburetor off, though. This thing, man, big chunk of metal. Look at that. Yeah, it was a little toasty under there. Made everything look really, really sad. Over here, again, not much to really talk about, but we've got it cleaned up now. Moving on back, like we said, we are going to go ahead and start cutting out these panels. Got at least the base line idea. This is a lot further up than what I need for mine, but the idea is to cut more than what we need and then trim what we do need, if that makes any sense. I'm sure you guys understand, and that makes sense to you, but more than what we need, so we can cut back just a little bit for what we really do need. I know I keep repeating myself, but hey, just to make sure you guys hear me the second time. We did take the plastic rubber fender flares off. I kind of like these. I kind of want to get some more. The only bad part is, as you can see right here, I started to cause some rust here, rubbed, and I don't know, guys. So only bad part about putting any kind of like fender flare aftermarket stuff is if it fits right, it's going to start rubbing. You're going to have to start having issues with rust and stuff like that. Usually it's nicer to just keep it open, but with bigger wheels and tires like this, you have the potential of chucking a rock all the way up here, maybe hitting the window, and it could just be a whole bunch more issues. And with the new paint job that I want to get on my RamCharger, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to think about it a little bit more. But with that, let's go ahead and start cutting into this and see what we can do. What kind of damage we can do before it's time to take the body off of the frame. look at that. Well, not that. Look at those. Those look great. Definitely have the sections that I need now to repair on mine. Man, that was a big pain in the butt. I will say it right now. This one, it looks like there was only 5 spot welds. There's that one there, but I think it didn't adhere too well to the support that was down there. But this one over here, man, looks like Swiss cheese. I mean, it is Swiss cheese now. I should be able to, yeah, I would hope fill those. But we will see. It's still better than the panel that I have on mine, so it will be going in mine. This one was probably the worst one out of all of them. This back panel here was one of the easiest ones I've done out of the 3. This one, a whole bunch of rough cuts. This one took pretty much just the panel. This one took just the panel, but it turned into Swiss cheese. Now, I'm going to do this one off camera because it's not really part of my project, but this outline here, again, for someone that asked for it, I'll cut it out, give them, you know, just cut it and give them what it's there, I guess. I don't really know, but they need it because, again, this right here was rusted out and you can't find them. So with that, I'll get back with you guys here in just a second, and hopefully we'll be taking the cab off of this truck. There we go. Look at that, man. This thing is completely stripped down just to the frame and drivetrain. We need to clean a lot of this stuff off the front, and then we need to start wire wheeling it. I think we're gonna pull the winches off just so that we can, you know, get the bumpers off nice and easy. But it wasn't too bad. It had a couple things that held us up, like the fuel filler neck. We knew about that, but I forgot. And then there was an extra bolt somewhere that I had forgotten. I think it was this guy right here, one on each side. It's up in the wheel well. I just didn't pay attention. I thought it was just the 6 inside, but there's 8. There's 8 total. Body mounts, well, I'm gonna throw that one on the ground. They're not too bad, but if we're gonna do body related stuff on mine, we'll just get brand new ones. But man, these skyjacker shocks, the front ones really took a beating. We're definitely gonna have to get some new ones, but I might even try to reach out to Skyjacker, see if they might be able to help us out in getting some new ones, or even swapping to a different model of shock. So they have the Nitro, they have a Hydro, and then they have the Black Max. The Black Max, a little bit smoother of a ride over the Hydros and the Nitros, but you know, these Nitros here, they're supposed to be pretty good. So what else? Is there really anything to talk about? I really don't know. It's been a couple days since we actually did take the body off the frame, but it's good to at least have it like this so I can see where I'm going to start. And for starters, I'm looking at this front axle, and it's just a lot of stuff, but it shouldn't be that hard to swap over under mine. The rear axle, suspension, shocks, and everything should be super easy. And these Skyjacker shocks back here, they look as pretty as ever. Once they get cleaned up, they'll look even better. But I kind of want some black shocks. I just like the black undercoating. Unfortunately, my RamCharger doesn't look this clean underneath. But I feel like this was definitely redone. It's got a little bit of a texture, so maybe a cheaper spray-on bed liner feel to it. That's what it feels like. This is kind of smooth over here, though. Man, so with the back, I'd probably just take this bolt, that bolt, same with the other side, these two here, and then our brake lines and vent tube would just have to be disconnected from the frame, and the whole thing drops. Drive shaft is already undone, so that's easy. We already got part of the work done. And then the other thing that we'd have to worry about is, how do we lift my RamCharger's frame this high off the ground to get this kind of suspension underneath it? And I'm telling you, I don't have anything that's strong enough. The tractor can lift a body. The tractor cannot lift, I don't think it can lift these bumpers and these wheels and tires and suspension kit by itself. It might be able to, but once you get a body on there with all this stuff, it's just not going to do it. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to have to figure that out. Front up here, let's see. I'm going to replace the brake lines because mine are good. My calipers are good. I just did those brand new on mine. Let's see, and then we'll just do a different brake line down from there because that might have some fire damage. Shouldn't be too hard as long as the lines aren't all seized up, corroded, whatever. We'll also need to disconnect this right here, just undoing that castle nut, and that'll be easy. The sway bar end link, this guy right here, this is done wrong. This is wrong. Really hard to find these. I believe you can get them off of a couple different vehicles that are actually not even Dodge. Or you can even recreate them yourself with a couple, a little bit of steel and some all thread or something like that. But this is supposed to be level flat, and it's not. So that wasn't done right, but that's okay. You do what you got to do sometimes. And then the CAD system with these axles, which is this guy right there, all that. I've explained it once before. The CAD axle system, it's kind of weird, but it connects the driver side and passenger side wheel shafts together within this front axle shafts. Those are the words I'm looking for. And then it connects it to the differential. So it's a little complex, but it's not too hard to understand. It kind of looks like this brake line was pushed out of the way. We'll have to see, guys. Again, I do plan on swapping the whole axle over. Everything is in good shape on the axle and suspension side of things. Sway bar, we'll take mine, but we need to get those new sway bar end links. So this is where I'm going to end off the video for you guys. We did a lot in the video today. We got a whole bunch done. It took a couple of days on my end, but hopefully this one video was enough for you guys to last you just a touch longer. Hopefully soon we will be able to get all the suspension and axle stuff out from underneath this one and underneath my RamCharger soon. We'll see how the weather and if we can find maybe a lift or something like that. Yes, I know we have Santa that we can work with, but again, if you guys have gone over to his channel, it's been really, really hot and he's been hurting, so I'm not gonna ask for him to do anything. And he has cars on the lift already, so moving stuff around can be just a big pain in the butt. With that said, I'm trying to see if I can find something local to me so I don't have to drive the extra distance with my RamCharger, the axles, and it's just a big logistical issue sometimes. But we will get it done here soon. I'm going to see if I can get in contact with Ramsey, the winch company, and see if I can get in contact with Skyjacker, see if they can help us out or, point us in the right direction to what we should be doing. With all of that, man, I think it's time to get going. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.